My name is Jen, and I am on a journey in order to break free from the destructive patterns of disordered eating and in order to embrace a nourishing lifestyle. My roadmap can be described using an acronym of the word Nourisher. So I'm doing daily video blog posts in order to encourage you, equip you, and keep you up to date on my progress. If this content is helpful or encouraging to you, please consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and sharing with others. It is my deep desire that these videos would help to ignite nourishing transformations in us all. Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me for this Nourisher Check In, every other day check-in for the summer, as the summer is already winding down. It's such a short season, and I hope that your summer has been really nourishing. As you know, my summer has been a lot of kind of a yin and a yang. There's been such good things, such great time with the kids, and yet a lot going on emotionally inside. And you know what? I just feel like now as we end this summer, I feel like I'm starting to get into my stride a little bit more. And one of the big things that has allowed me to do this was ditching the devices. I mentioned this in a previous post, but I really found that as soon as I kind of untethered myself from my devices and untethered myself from the responsibility of having to get a certain amount of things done in a day and really just focusing on the kids and focusing on the summer, I had the privilege and the opportunity to really connect with them deeply and to really kind of increase my joy quotient. So that has been terrific, and I have been noticing more stability and more of a congruency between what I'm feeling on my inside and what I'm feeling on my outside these last few days. So opening up to others, of course, this has been a season of opening up for others and just really learning how to attune, how to be there for my kids, how to see past their behavior and to look for the heart behind them. And I wish that we could do that not only with kids, but with big kids. I wish that was just, I think I've said before, I wish that was my superpower, that I could see beyond people's, even my own, I guess, beyond our behavior to the heart of what's actually behind it. And so that's been good and trying and testing and wonderful, and lots of great tickle times and really holding tight to that Laura Markham recommendation. And when she explains, Dr. Laura Markham is a parenting expert, and she explains all of the incredible benefits of roughhousing. So I've really been, of course, my husband tends to be the one that the kids roughhouse with, but I've been leaning into that more in terms of tickle times and funny little games, that kind of thing. But the one thing for me is learning, how do I shut off the roughhousing time? Because I get to my capacity and they could keep going and going. So we're just trying to negotiate how to have better endings, because it often ends in, somebody getting hurt or somebody getting upset or whatever. So trying to navigate that. Understanding the cycle, I've been thinking about this so much lately, that when I was first diagnosed with binge eating disorder, I thought that I had a problem with binging. And for sure, that was what was the most concerning of the behaviors for me, is being in the middle of these binges and, feeling like I was totally out of control, had no off valve, consuming, all this food that did not align with my values, making me feel horrible, 15, 20, 30 chocolate bars later, just feeling like I'm going to vomit, and yet still eating more, and to the point where I'm blurry and can barely see straight because I'm wreaking such havoc on my blood insulin levels. So that was so disturbing for me that eventually I was able to, open up and get help and get a diagnosis and whatever. So, but now that I actually look at it and that I understand this cycle, I realize that although the binge eating is a behavior that is very disturbing and that I'm prone to, really what I have is I have a restricted eating disorder. Meaning it's the times when it's my propensity to restrict that sets me up for these binges. And, we can unpack that further. I can try to put some resources below to maybe, so you can explore that idea and see whether or not that's something that resonates with you. But this idea of when I restrict, I buy into, cultural lies about body image and about how, if only I was thinner, or if only I looked different, or, if I could just control this, or whatever the case may be, as I get into that restrict cycle, then I just can't, it's just not sustainable for life. Everything inside of me, all of my, brain chemistry and hormones and are all saying, no, you've got to nourish me. And they're pushing, our bodies when we are in that restricted cycle for us to nourish, which drives us, straight headlong into a binge cycle. So that's been really good for me to think about in terms of, hey, yes, the binging behavior is really destructive and upsetting, but really what I'm managing is the propensity to restrict. And so if I can keep nourishing consistently, in a very free way, then I find the temptation to binge almost evaporates. So that's been really, really wonderful. And in terms of brain rewiring, this has been so important for me to think about how can I keep my brain healthy and full of appreciation and joy-filled with my kids around. And so it's just been trying to do lots of things together. The other thing is I've been trying to, I was motivated by jealousy. I'll be honest. So my kids, we live abroad, and my kids during the summer holiday have Skyped with their grandmother like almost every day. And they love to do online drawing lessons. If your kids are into drawing, there's some fabulous online drawing lessons. I can put them in the additional resources below. My kids love them. And so, and a special shout out to Draw So Cute and Art Hub for Kids, because you are like a wealth of education, information, and entertainment for my daughters. They absolutely love your channels. And so anyway, they always want to call their grandmother. So when they wake up in the morning, I've been getting up earlier than my girls, doing some work so that I can get off my devices for the rest of the day. And my eldest daughter always gets up first, and she comes in. As soon as I hear her coming up the stairs, I put my computer away, and I, get ready for her to come and snuggle with me on the couch. So she comes and snuggles. She snuggles. Did you have a good sleep? Yeah. What are you looking forward to today? Whatever. We have this nice little bonding time. And then she looks in my eyes and says, "Can I call Grams?" And I'm just like, come on, like you're with me right now. Like, why do you want to call Grams? And then I realize it's because even though she's so far away, my mother-in-law spends such beautiful time with my girls. She will, through that screen, look them in the eye and spend time with them and ask them meaningful questions and just delight in everything they do. The other day, I walked in, my daughter had locked herself in our bedroom, and she had the iPad down on the floor, propped up by these crazy pillows, so that it was standing straight up, because she had these kind of ballet slippers. They're like actually slippers, but they look like ballet slippers. And she was showing her grandmother how she could tippy toe on her, ballet slippers. And all you could hear was, my mother-in-law, "You're doing it. You're really doing it just like a ballerina." And she's got this big beaming smile on her face. And anyway, my mother-in-law is so good at engaging even on Skype. So, all this to say that my eldest daughter really wanted to spend time and what I realized is that my eldest daughter and my mother-in-law will do drawing lessons together on they'll both put up the same drawing lesson and do them together and then exchange photos. So I thought, okay, this just time together, not, solving the world's problems or digging deep or whatever, just being together doing something that my daughter loves is really important to her. And I know if I do it, it will also increase my joy and help me whenever I do kind of art thing. We've talked about the benefit of art therapy before. It helps me to calm and soothe and focus. And so I said, okay, well, maybe when you're done with Grams, maybe you and I could do an art lesson together. And she just beamed. So we've been doing lots of art lessons together, and we found this really fun art game where you roll a dice. Thank you also, Draw So Cute, for this. I'll put it down below. But you roll a dice, and then, you have to draw certain eyes or a certain head or certain whatever, and you come up with these crazy creatures. So lots of fun things of me realizing just doing the things that people love with them benefits them and also benefits me. So soccer with one of my daughters, drawing with my other daughter. My youngest has recently learned how to play Monopoly and the card game version Monopoly Deal. So just really digging into these and enjoying the joyful benefits of that. So it's been very good. Where my insulin-friendly eating has been good. Yeah, nothing really so crazy to speak of that. You know that I had been really leaning on the clock to make sure that I was nourishing consistently, again, staying away from that restricting. And that has been going generally well. Sleep is just the same. I am just in that pattern, but at least I am waking up refreshed. So I'm thankful for that. And hydration has been such a good key for me, because I really noticed that the more I hydrate, the more even keeled my cravings are, my hunger cues seem to be enhanced, and my gut health seems to be enhanced as well. So I'm really clinging on to that importance of hydration. Exercise also has been very good. My girls have been troopers in trying out new hikes with me. I am an avid and love to hike, and so that is just such a sweet spot for me to have the people that I love in nature doing movement that we enjoy. That's a really can't think of a better combination. So that's been really terrific. And my reward is just, I'm sorry that it's at the end of the summer, but starting to feel a little bit more, at ease inside. And even with some, harder relational dynamics that kind of pop up here and there, I'm starting to feel a little bit more balanced inside. So we'll see whether or not that holds true for the long term. But I'm grateful for the relief from some of those more tumultuous feelings from earlier on in the summer, and just so grateful for this Nourisher acronym. So we'll talk a little bit more about that maybe in another blog post, but I am already looking forward to checking with you again, and I hope you have a very nourishing day. Bye for now.